What happens after an affair? The moment the truth is revealed, everything changes, hearts are shattered, trust is broken, and emotion runs high. But what happens in the week, months, and even years after infidelity? Can a relationship truly survive? If so, at what cost? In this video, we explore the emotional turmoil for both the betrayed and the unfaithful. Why some relationships recover while others crumble. The stages of healing or separation after infidelity. How guilt, shame, and regret impact the cheater's mind. The long-term effects of betrayal on love and intimacy. Real-life stories of couples who stayed and those who walked away. Steps to rebuild trust or let go with strength. By the end of this deep dive, you will understand the emotional roller coaster of post-affair relationship and the truth behind what really happens after infidelity. Stay tuned. The initial fallout, the moment of discovery. When an affair is exposed, everything shifts instantly. The betrayed partner experiences shock, disbelief, and emotional devastation. Immediate reaction after an affair is discovered. Some partners react with rage and demand immediate separation. Others enter a state of denial, refusal to accept the truth. Many experience extreme emotional and physical pain. Heartbreak is real. So real. Emma found out about her husband's affair through an unexpected text message. In that instant, her world fell apart. I couldn't breathe. My hands were shaking. It felt like I had been punched in the gut, she recalled. The emotional weight of betrayal can be just as painful as a physical wound, triggering long-term trauma and self-doubt. Have you ever accidentally come across information you wish you never found? The cheaters, perspectives, guilt, justification, and regret. Cheaters rarely expect to get caught, and when they do, their reaction varies from deep remorse to complete denial. What goes through the mind of someone who cheats? Some experience overwhelming guilt and would do anything to fix the relationship. Others try to justify their action. I wasn't happy. It was just a mistake. Some feel relief that the secret is out, while others panic about the consequences. Jackson cheated on his wife after 10 years of marriage. He said, I thought I could keep it secret. I didn't plan to hurt her, but when she found out, I realized I had shattered the one thing I took for granted, her trust. Infidelity isn't always about a lack of love. Sometimes it stems from emotional disconnection, selfishness, or unresolved personal struggles. Related. Have you ever watched someone try to explain away their actions when caught right-handed or red-handed? Can a relationship survive infidelity? Some couples heal after an affair, while others fall apart. But what determines which path they take? Factors that influence relationship survival after cheating. Honest communication. Is the cheater willing to take full responsibility? Emotional investment. Are both partners willing to rebuild trust? Therapy and counseling. Seeking help is crucial for healing. Personal growth. Can the cheater truly change their behavior? Forgiveness or closure. Can the betrayed partner heal and move forward? After her husband's affair, Lisa gave him an ultimatum: therapy or divorce. He chose therapy, and through months of deep emotional work, they rebuilt their marriage, Lisa said, "It wasn't easy, but we created a new foundation, one based on honesty and real communication." Infidelity doesn't always mean the end, but recovering requires real effort, transparency, and time. Have you ever seen a couple stay together after a scandal? You will you knew they weren't really over it. The long-term effect of an affair. Even when the dust settles, the effects of betrayal linger. How an affair changes a relationship over time. Trust is fragile and may never fully recover. Insecurity and self doubt can remain in the betrayed partner. Intimacy may be difficult to rebuild, especially if emotions aren't addressed. The fear of history repeating itself can create paranoia and anxiety. Family and friends may never fully forgive the unfaithful partner. Mark cheated on his wife, and although she chose to stay, their relationship was never the same. She always questioned where I was, who I was with, and what I was doing. I knew I caused that, but I also knew we were stuck in a cycle of doubt. Even if a couple stays together, an unhealed affair can leave emotional scar that never fades. Have you ever been suspicious of someone even after they swore they changed? Final thoughts. Moving forward after fidelity. What happens after an affair is different for every couple. Some find strength in healing, while others find peace in walking away. Key takeaway about infidelity. Recovery. Infidelity creates emotional trauma, but healing is possible. The cheater's response after being caught is crucial in determining the relationship's future. Trust takes time to rebuild. Sometimes it never fully returns. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting, it's about finding peace. If the relationship is rebuilt, it must be stronger than before. Counseling and professional therapy can be life changing for post affair healing. Not every relationship is meant to be safe. Sometimes moving up or moving on is the healthiest choice. If you or someone you know is dealing with the aftermath of that affair, remember you have the power to heal, whether together or apart. Comment below. Can a relationship truly survive an affair? Would you stay or would you leave? Let's talk. Subscribe for more expert backed relationship insight. I wonder whether virginity still matters in today's relationship. And I'm going to get some real talk from friends and strangers alike. Today, we're talking about a topic that's been on everyone's mind for ages: virginity in modern relationship. Is it still a big deal? Has our perception of it changed over time? Let's dive into it. When it comes to virginity, people have strong opinions. Some believe it's a sacred thing to be cherished until the right partner comes along, while others think it's no big deal and should be thrown out of the window. Cultural and religious beliefs play a huge role in shaping these opinions. For instance, in some culture, virginity is seen as a symbol of purity and innocence, while in others, it's viewed as a personal choice. On the other hand, some people believe that virginity is a social construct meant to control and shame individuals, especially women. These conflicting views can create tension in relationships, especially When partners have different beliefs about virginity, it's not uncommon for someone who values virginity to feel judged or pressured by their partner who doesn't share the same beliefs. Similarly, someone who's not bothered about virginity might feel suffocated by their partner's expectations. It's a delicate topic, and navigating these differences can be tricky. Social media has also had a significant impact on how we view virginity. With the constant stream of curated and airbrushed images, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that sex is the ultimate goal and that everyone who is still a virgin is somehow missing out. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self esteem. Moreover, the proliferation of dating apps has changed the way we approach relationships, making it easier to hop from partner to another without much emotional investment. Generational differences also plays a significant role in shaping our attitude towards virginity. For instance, baby boomers and Generation X might view virginity as a sacred thing, while millennials and Generation Z might be more laid back about it. This is partly due to changing cultural norms and the growing acceptance of sexual diversity. Additionally, personal experiences such as trauma or past relationships can also influence how we view virginity. A recent study found that 44% of millennials believes that virginity is not important in relationships, while 28% of Generation Z think that it's a big deal. These statistics highlight the significant shift in attitude towards virginity over the past few decades. I also spoke to a friend who shared her personal story of how she lost her virginity in her late 20s and how it was a liberating experience for her. Her story highlights the importance of communication and the mutual aspect in relationship, regardless of whether virginity is a factor or not. In another instance, a guy I met at a coffee shop told me that he waited until his wedding night to have sex and how it was the most magical experience of his life. His story emphasizes the importance of personal beliefs and values in relationships. Ultimately, whether virginity still matters in modern relationships, it's a complex question with no straightforward answer. The importance of virginity varies greatly among individuals and culture, and what works for one person might not work for another. Thanks for tuning in this video. If you have thoughts on whether virginity still matters in today's relationship, please share them in the comments below. And see you in my next video. Bye. Love is complex and motivated emotion, and men in particular often seek a deep sense of connection and understanding in their relationships. But what does it really take for a man to fall deeply in love? Is it the grand gestures, the romantic getaways, or the marital or material possession? Well, let's dive in and find out. There are so many misconceptions about men need in love, or what men need in love. Some might think it's about showering them with expensive gifts or cooking their favorite meals every night. Others might believe it's about being the perfect partner, always looking flawless and put together. But the truth is, these superficial gestures only scratch the surface of what men really need to feel a deep emotional connection. What they really crave is something much more profound. In reality, men need to feel seen, heard, and understood on a deeper level. They need to feel like they can be their authentic self around you without fear of judgment or rejection. They need to feel like you're their rock, their confidant, their partner in every sense of the world. And yet, so often, we get caught up in the superficial aspects of love and forget to nurture the emotional connection that really matters. Another common misconception is that men don't want to talk about their feelings or emotions in the same way that women do. But the truth is, men are human beings too, with complex emotions and needs. They might not always express themselves in the same way, but that doesn't mean they don't crave emotional intimacy and connection. In fact, some of the most powerful moments of connection in a relationship come from simply being present with each other without judgment or expectation. So, what are these key elements that contribute to a man's emotional connection? Trust is a big one. When a man feels like he can trust you with his heart, his fears, his desires, that's when the deep connection starts to form. Vulnerability is another. When he feels like he can be vulnerable around you without fear of being judged or rejected, that's when the walls start to come down. And then there are the shared experiences, the laughters, the adventures, the quiet moments of intimacy. These are the things that create a sense of shared history and deep connection. One of the most critical insights I want to share with you is that men need to feel like they can be themselves around you without apology or pretense. They need to feel like you accept them for who they are, flaws and all, and that you are not trying to change them or fix them. When a man feels like he can simply be himself without judgment or expectations, that's when the emotional connection starts to deepen. And this is because at the core of it all, men crave authenticity and honesty in their relationships. The most critical action that can significantly enhance a man's feelings of love is to create a space of emotional intimacy and genuine communication. This means being willing to listen to him, to hear his fears and desires, and to validate his emotions. It means being willing to be vulnerable yourself and to create a space where he feels safe to do the same. And it means being willing to walk through the tough stuff together as a team rather than trying to go it alone. In conclusion, understanding a man's emotional needs is essential for deepening love in a relationship. It's not about the grand gesture or the material possession. It's about creating a space of trust, vulnerability, and emotional intimacy. It's about being willing to be present, to listen, and to connect on a deeper level. So, what do you think? What do you believe men need to fall deeper in love? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to learn more about relationship tips and tricks, be sure to check out my next video where we'll dive into more secrets for building a stronger, more loving connections. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye. Sex is more than just a physical act. It's a deep emotional connection, a form of communication, and a fundamental part of a healthy relationship. But how important is it really? And does a fulfilling sex life prevent a partner from cheating? These questions have been debated for ages, and this deep dive we will explore the psychological and emotional impact of sex in a relationship, how physical intimacy strengthens emotional bonds, the connection between sexual satisfaction and relationship longevity, whether a strong sex life can truly prevent infidelity, real life stories of couples navigating intimacy and truth, the impact of mismatch and how to address it, the role of sexual compatibility in long-term happiness. By the end of this deep dive, you will understand why sex plays a crucial role in relationship dynamics and how it influences emotional and physical commitment. Welcome to Mira TV. The science of sexual connection. Sex is not just about pleasure. It creates deep chemical and emotional connections. When two people engage in intimacy, their bodies release oxytocin, also known as the love hormone, which strengthens emotional attachment and trust. The biological and psychological impact of sex in a relationship. Oxytocin fosters deep emotional bonds between partners. Endorphins released during intimacy creates feelings of happiness and reduce stress. Physical touch, even beyond sex, increases trust and reduces insecurities in a relationship. Sex plays a role in improving self-esteem and reinforcing attraction between partners. Sexual intimacy can enhance empathy and mutual understanding in a relationship. Anna and Daniel had been married for 7 years. When life became stressful, kids, career, and responsibilities, they found themselves drifting apart. One night, after weeks without intimacy, Daniel finally said, "I miss feeling connected to you." They made a conscious effort to bring back physical intimacy, and Anna later admitted sex was the glue that held us together when words weren't enough. Sex is more than just a physical act. It's an emotional bridge that reconnects partners when life tries to pull them apart. Relationship or relatable moments come. Have you ever felt more emotionally connected to your partner after a deep, intimate night? That's the magic of oxytocin. Can a healthy sex life prevent cheating? One of the biggest relationship myths is that great sex alone can prevent infidelity. While a fulfilling sex life is important, cheating is often more about emotional detachment, unmet needs, or personal dissatisfaction. The truth about infidelity and sex. Many people cheat not because of lack of sex, but because of emotional disconnection. Some affairs happen despite great sex because the cheater is seeking validation and excitement. A strong sexual relationship can be a protective factor, but it's not a guarantee shield against infidelity. Lack of intimacy can make a partner vulnerable to temptation, but emotional neglect is often the real culprit. Some partners cheat even in highly satisfying sexual relationships due to personal insecurity or thrill-seeking behavior. Moike and Sarah had an amazing sex life, but when Sarah found out Mike was cheating, she was heartbroken. "I thought if I gave him everything, he wouldn't look elsewhere," she said. Mike later admitted, "It wasn't about sex. I felt emotionally disconnected and started seeking attention elsewhere." Sex strengthens bonds, but it's not a cure-all. True commitment comes from emotional intimacy, trust, and communication. Have you ever thought, if I give my partner everything, they will never leave? The truth is, relationship requires more than just physical connection. The emotional and psychological effects of a sexless relationship. What happens when sex fades from a relationship. Lack of intimacy can lead to feelings of neglect, insecurity, and emotional detachment. The risk of a sexless relationship. One or both partners may feel undesirable or unwanted. Communication can break down, leading to resentment. Emotional distance often follows, making infidelity more likely. Long-term sexual neglect can result in reduced physical attraction and intimacy anxiety. Mismatched sexual desires can create frustration and emotional distance if not addressed. Avoiding sex can lead to stress buildup, leading to small conflicts escalating over time. Mark and Lisa stopped being intimate after 10 years of marriage. At first, it seemed like a natural phase of life, but over time, Lisa felt ignored and Mark became withdrawn. When Lisa finally brought it up, Mark admitted, "I thought you didn't care about sex anymore, so I stopped trying." Once they started openly communicating, their intimacy returned, and so did their emotional closeness. Avoiding the topic doesn't make the problem go away. Honest communication about intimacy can save relationships from drifting apart. Relatable moments comes. Have you ever felt like your partner just wasn't in the mood far too long and you started wondering if something was wrong? The real rule of sex in a relationship. Sex is important in a relationship, but it's not the only factor that holds a couple together. True relationship success comes from a balance of emotional intimacy, trust, and physical connection. Let's do some recap. Key takeaway about sex and relationship. Number 1, sex strengthens emotional and physical bonds. Number 2, a strong sex life can reduce relationship stress and increase happiness. Number 3, cheating is often caused by emotional disconnection, not just lack of sex. Number 4, a sexless relationship can lead to emotional distance, but often communication can help restore intimacy. Number 5, physical connection must be paired with emotional support for long-term relationship success. Number 6, regular intimacy enhances attraction and deepens connection over time. Number 7, sex is a language of love and should be nurtured, not ignored. Number 8, mismatched ideas should be discussed openly without judgment. Sexual compatibility plays a vital role in long-term relationship fulfillment. Number 10, sex is not just about preventing cheating, it's about maintaining a deep emotional connection. A fulfilling relationship is about more than just physical intimacy. It's about connection, understanding, and partnership. Sex plays a powerful role, but trust, love, and emotional security are just as essential. Please comment below. How important do you think sex is in a relationship? Do you believe it can prevent cheating? Let's talk. Subscribe for more expert-backed relationship insight. Bye-bye. Why do men go above and beyond to ensure their partner's pleasure? Is it purely selfish, or is there something deeper happening psychologically? The truth is, the men who prioritize a woman's pleasure are often more emotionally intelligent, confident, and secure in their masculinity than those who don't. Welcome to Mira TV, and subscribe if this is your first time on this page so you can have more in-depth of relationship insight. In this in-depth video, we will explore the science and psychology behind men who prioritize our pleasure, the common relationship struggles related to intimacy and connection, insights from relationship experts, psychologists, and real-life stories. How society conditions men to either embrace or suppress their traits, the deep emotional connection that comes with mutual pressure, myth versus reality busting, misconception about men and sexual intimacy, tips and strategies for enhancing relationship intimacy, personal experience from men and women who have seen both sides of the spectrum, the connection between pleasure, respect, and trust in relationships, the long-term impact of prioritizing partner pleasure on relationship stability. What happens in relationships when this priority is missing? The emotional vulnerability that comes with genuine physical connection, the role of childhood experiences in shaping intimacy behavior, how cultural upbringing affects men's approach to pleasure, the connection between masculinity and sexual generosity, the role of communication in fostering deeper sexual connection, the science behind arousing, bonding, and brain chemistry in pleasure, the psychological and biological difference between men and women when it comes to intimacy, the deeper impact of pleasure on relationship satisfaction over time, stories of couples who transform their relationship by prioritizing mutual pleasure, the impact of emotional baggage on intimacy and pleasure, how to overcome societal conditioning that suppresses emotional and sexual connection, the cultural taboo surrounding male vulnerability in relationships, why prioritizing pleasure leads to higher levels of emotional intimacy, how a man's ability to give pleasure correlates with his confidence outside the bedroom. The link below a man's emotional intelligence and his ability to prioritize his partner's needs. The neuroscience behind pleasure and why the brain craves shares experiences. How traditional gender roles have suppressed men's ability to give and receive pleasure. Why a man's love language plays a role in his approach to physical and emotional intimacy. The hidden ways a man can subtly encourage her partner to be more attentive. How relationship trauma affects a man's ability to be vulnerable and prioritize connection. Why women in healthy relationships report higher overall happiness. Why prioritizing pleasure reduces relationship dissatisfaction and prevents emotional disconnect. The general shift, the impact of societal media and how it influences men's perception of intimacy. Yes, the surprising connection between relationship longevity and mutual satisfaction. The secret behind why men who prioritize our pleasure are seen as more attractive. By the end of this deep dive, you will understand what makes these men different, why it matters, and how intimacy can transform a relationship. Expanded final thoughts. The act of true intimacy. The best relationships are built on effort, care, and mutual pleasure. Men who prioritize her pleasure often have deep emotional connections and intelligence and confidence. A secure man understands that intimacy is about connection, not just physical satisfaction. These men can sometimes feel underappreciated, so mutual effort is important. Every relationship can grow into this dynamic with communication and emotional safety. Prioritizing pleasure is about more than physical, it's about emotional security and vulnerability. What does a man truly need in a relationship? Society often paints men as emotional, detached, or simple in their desire. But is that really true? The truth is, men have deep emotional needs, just like women. And when those needs aren't met, it can lead to disconnect, dissatisfaction, and even relationship breakdown. In this in depth video, we will explore the key emotional, physical, and psychological needs, of men in relationships, the most common relationship issues men face, and how to overcome them. Insights from relationship experts, therapists, and real men, real life scenarios of relationships that thrive and those that fail. Myths versus reality busting, misconception about what men want, tips and strategies for creating lasting love and deeper connection. Stay till the end. You also see the personal experiences and insights from men of all backgrounds. The emotional impact of being misunderstood or overlooked in relationships. Why men struggle with vulnerability and how it affects long term commitment. By the end of this deep dive, you will gain a whole new perspective on what men need in a relationship and how to create a partnership that lasts. Welcome to Mira TV. On this channel, we focus on relationship insight. If this is your first time of coming here, please, you're welcome and subscribe. Men are simple. Men only care about sex. Men don't need emotional connection. These are just some of the biggest myths about men in relationships. But how true are they? Top relationship myths about men are busted. Myth number one: men don't crave emotional connection. False. Many men struggle with expressing emotions but deeply desire emotional security. Myth number two: all men want is sex. False. Why physical intimacy is important, respect, admiration, and emotional support rank just as high. Myth number three: men don't care about deep conversation. False. Men appreciate meaningful talks but may not initiate them as often. Myth number four: a man will leave if his needs aren't met. Partially true. Some men withdraw when they feel unheard, unappreciated, or disrespected. Myth number five: men don't need reassurance or validation. False. Everyone, including men, thrives when they feel appreciated and acknowledged. Dr. Jonathan Fields, relationship psychologist, one of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming men don't need validation, appreciation, or emotional intimacy. They do, but they often don't express it in the same way as women. Men do have deep emotional needs, they just express them differently. Relatable moment. Have you ever heard a guy say, I am fine, when he clearly isn't? Men need more than just companionship. They need to feel respected, desired, and emotionally secure. What men really need in a relationship: respect and admiration. Men thrive when they feel respected for who they are. Emotional security. Contrary to stereotypes, men want a partner who listens, understands, and supports them emotionally. Physical intimacy and affection. This isn't just about sex. Men need physical connections, from hugs to small touches. Appreciation and recognition. Feeling valued is key. A simple thank you can go a long way. Trust and loyalty. Men want to know their partner has their back no matter what. Peace and stability. Drama and constant conflict push men away. They crave a calm, supportive partner. Encouragement and belief in his dreams. A man wants to feel like his partner believes in him and support his ambitions. Companionship and fun. Men want a best friend in their partner, someone they can laugh and enjoy life with. Mark was in a long-term relationship but felt invisible. I loved her, but I felt like I was just there to provide. She never appreciated me, never showed me affection. When he finally spoke up, his partner dismissed his feelings and the relationship ended. When men don't feel valued or appreciated, they emotionally check out. Men often struggle in silence. They are expected to be strong, providers, and emotional stable. But what happens when they don't feel supported? Why men struggle with emotional expression? Societal conditioning. Men are taught from a young age to man up and suppress emotion. They are afraid, fear of judgment. Many men fear looking weak if they express vulnerability. Emotional burnout. When men feel they must always be the strong one, it leads to exhaustion and withdrawal. Lack of safe emotional spaces. If a man doesn't feel safe to express himself, he won't open up. Dr. Amy Carwell, marriage counselor. When men open up and feel dismissed or judged, they shut down. Over time, this leads to resentment and disconnection. Men want to communicate, but they need a safe space to do so. Have you ever seen a man hesitate before opening up only to say, never mind? Men aren't as complicated as they seem. They just need to feel valued, respected, and emotionally secure. What are the key takeaways of today's video? Men crave emotional connection even if they don't always express it. Respect, appreciation, and affection are major relationship keys. Ignoring a man's emotional needs leads to emotional withdrawal. When a man feels love and value, he will give 100% to the relationship. Men need encouragement and support just as much as women do. Creating a safe emotional space allows men to open up and be vulnerable. Please comment below. What do you think men need most in a relationship? Let's talk about it. And subscribe if this is your first time on this channel so that you can get more insights on dating advice and relationships. Thank you. Marriage is often considered as a sacred institution, but what happens when one partner starts to manipulate the other? Specifically, why do married women often seem like the easiest target for manipulations? We've all heard the stereotypes that married women are naive, unsuspecting, and blinded by love. But is that really the case? Are they more vulnerable to manipulation because of their trusting nature? Or is there something more at play? The truth is, societal perceptions of married women are complex and multifaceted. On one hand, they often seen as homemakers and caregivers, putting others' needs before their own. On the other hand, they are expected to be independent and strong, yet still submissive to their husband. It's a delicate balance and one that can be easily exploited by those who seek to manipulate. Stereotype aside, the reality is that many married women do find themselves trapped in manipulative relationships. They may feel like they are walking on eggshells, never knowing that or what would trigger their partner's anger or resentment. They may feel like they are constantly trying to please their partner, only to be met with criticism and disdain. And they may feel like they are completely alone with no one to turn to for support. But why does this happen? Is it because they are more trusting or because they are more invested in their relationship? The dynamics of manipulation within marriages are complex, and there is no one size fits all explanation. But one thing is certain: emotional dependency plays a huge role. When one partner is emotionally dependent on the other, they may feel like they can't survive without them. This creates a power imbalance where the manipulator holds all the cards, and when you add societal expectations to the mix, it's a recipe for disaster. Married women are often expected to prioritize their families above all else, which can lead to a loss of personal identity and autonomy. The expectation to be a perfect wife and mother can be overwhelming and can lead to feelings of guilt and shame when those expectations aren't met. And when a manipulator senses those feelings, they will often use them to their advantage. They will make their partner feel like they are not good enough, like they are somehow flawed or broken. And once that need of doubt is planted, it can be difficult to uproot. I want to share a story with you that really drove this point home for me. I was speaking with a woman who had been in a manipulative relationship for over a decade. She was a successful businessman, but her partner had convinced her that she was nothing without him. He would make her feel like she was stupid, like she didn't know how to take care of herself. And she believed him because she was so deeply invested in the relationship. It took her years to realize that she was being manipulated, and it took her even longer to find the strength to leave. This story is a stark reminder that manipulation can happen to anyone, regardless of age, intelligence, or socioeconomic status. It's not just about being weak or submissive, it's about being human. And it's about recognizing the signs of manipulation before it's too late. So, what can we take away from this conversation? Manipulation in marriage is a complex issue, but it's not impossible to recognize or prevent. By being aware of the societal pleasure or pressures and expectations that contribute to manipulation, we can start to build stronger, more equal relationships. We can start to recognize the signs of manipulation, and we can start to support those who are going through it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comment below, and subscribe if this is your first time coming, so you can get a chance to be knowing when a next video is put on relationship.